TriPod, baby, episode 23.
23. I'm Jaaron.
I'm Ryan.
Oh shit!
Bruh?
Pull a switch up on him.
Dude, okay, don't give the listeners that much credit. Like,
Moxie.
say your real name,
it?
man.
Yeah.
Okay, my name is Powys.
I'm just saying, we have some dumbass listeners, man, and they're going to be really confused by that.
Ooh,
Like,
ouch! That one
Stinger.
hurts.
Sorry, America.
That one
yeah,
hurts.
well. All right, so we're on episode 23 here, boys. Do you guys remember
That's Ryan,
the
by the
number
way.
23 starring Jim Carrey?
Oh my god.
Where he's
What?
obsessed with the number 23 because 2
No.
divided by 3 is 0.666, and he sees the number 23 everywhere and just goes fucking crazy.
How have I never heard of this?
Come on, bro.
I've
It's,
never heard of this.
I feel like it was reasonably popular back when it came out. At
Was
least I
it?
remember it being advertised a lot.
Like 90s Jim Carrey?
No, it's
that's
like
the
mid
thing.
2000s.
Oh, so it was when he was getting a little weird.
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
"Yo,
no,
I'm
yeah, it's like
weird."
it's not a comedy movie. It's just like
Okay.
a horror movie.
He did make one really like weird out there emotional one. I feel like we talked about it on the pod before.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
That's the one.
Fucking love that movie.
I didn't see it, I don't think. Well, maybe I watched it when I was too young to get it.
I think that's what
movie.
it was.
That's a
Yeah.
great film.
Follow the dad.
That was a great song.
Family
song.
Channel.
Family
on
Channel.
Repeat.
That's why I liked the movie. I didn't even understand the
nice.
movie really, but I like the song.
We don't divide it up. As a classic, like metric before metric,
Right.
Disney metric, or
That
family
just
metric.
that template of indie rock with a female
Right.
frontman.
Right. Yeah, number 23 was nothing in my life. It was a bit of a meme in mine and Tanner's relationship. And
Oh, yeah?
6, 7, 8. And then he kind of had his number 23 pop up. His number 23 was 37.
Right.
And for Tanner, 37 was everywhere. And like, I guess for me, 21 was like a lot of places. I kind of forced fate.
Do you have
bit.
like a significance of the number? Just that you noticed it all over the place.
For Tanner, it was lots of noticing things that were like linked to him. I don't know, maybe his license plate, like, I don't know, registry numbers and shit, student number, like last 2 numbers, all this shit. I mean, maybe we were pushing it, but it got to the point that it was like, what you see is what you get, what you think is what you find.
Right.
And, yeah, man. Number 37 for Rutledge and number 21 for me. It was so funny because I was like, yo, man, 21 is everything to me, bro. 21. It's V, bro, the 21st letter of the alphabet. I was on that for fucking years, and I was like, oh, shit, it's the 22nd. Maybe I wasn't correct. Oh. But, yeah.
Yeah,
Number 20Z.
that one for me was 1111.
11/11.
Really?
Make
Or-
a wish.
Make a Wish or 9/11.
9/11. Yeah, you look at
9/11.
the clock and it's 9/11.
Look at the clock, it's 9/11. I was like, I'll never forget. You know?
Yeah, something was off with those digital clock manufacturers, man. It just lingered a little too long on the
Sure,
9/11.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that conspiracy.
Right.
The conspiracy of the hour-long minute.
So, okay, when's the last time you guys used an analog clock, though? Like whether
question.
it's an alarm clock or like even just like a wall clock,
I literally bought one last week.
Nice.
Arrived from Amazon.
like an alarm clock.
Yeah.
Nice.
I have been checking my phone first thing in the morning.
Yeah, fair.
And so I decided to start leaving my phone downstairs when I go to bed. And
Yeah.
I was like, I should get an alarm clock because I tried to use my Fitbit, but
Right.
the vibration was enough to kind of like jolt me awake, but it was too easy to snooze it on my wrist. So I needed something that was going to get me out of bed, that was like loud enough to get me out of bed, but also, you know, the phone checking was still so bad for the first few days. First thing I woke up, I walked downstairs and checked my phone.
Rough, man. Tough
So-
to break, dude.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
But Jaaron, what's wrong with checking your phone first thing in the morning?
It's not a great way to start the day when you're used to, you know, you meditate, you know, you set intentions for the day.
Right.
It's not great when like it literally is like drawing your energy into the screen. That's what it feels like to me anyway.
Yeah. Bri, you ever had any issues with that?
I mean, I usually check my phone pretty soon after waking. Well, I mean, my alarm clock is my phone, right? So, you know, maybe I should get a fucking, you know, old school monkey smashing the cymbals.
Monkey smashing the symbol.
But yeah, I don't know. I I've never really thought of it too much as a problem. Like oftentimes I'll check my phone when I wake up, but then I'll forget it in my room for like hours. So I don't know. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm just built different, you know.
I think so. Man.
You might. I honestly think that's possible.
Because I know with my phone.
I mean, like I definitely relate to the whole like compulsively checking things, like, you know, especially when we post something or something like that, or I comment on a fucking YouTube video or whatever. Like, you know, like I definitely check that shit a lot. So I totally know where you guys are coming from. I've just never connected it so much to the morning thing, but maybe I can be more mindful of that.
I mean, I remember when quarantine first started, for people who are uninitiated, that was in March 2020.
Wow, never forget.
Never forget. So basically, when I was doing my job, when I was PAing for all those months, I was quite run down and not hyper connected to my stuff. So I would basically scroll every single morning, get that dopamine rush to get me out of bed. So that was my habit, and when the quarantine hit, I lost the work but kept the scrolling, and I would scroll for hours and hours and see the highest dopamine things, watch the craziest comebacks on YouTube, watch my least favorite teams get done by my favorite teams, watch these crazy moments, and then great, now I have to wake up and fucking cook and read, like it's not happening, and then I'm locked in that thing all day. And compulsive checking, it's a thing. I mean, yes, with TriHards popping off, it's been
to the moon, baby.
To the moon, for sure. And like it's been amazing and stuff, but you know, sometimes it can be a bit taxing. It's weird because it's kind of different now if I am to make a music thing, because for so long I posted my music stuff and I would like text everybody and beg them to comment.
Right.
And then I don't do that anymore. And I tested it on YouTube, and like my one YouTube video I posted got like no comments after I did it. But then like on Instagram now I'll still get like a handful of comments. Like nowhere near my one video that fucking has like 100 comments on it, my Jadakiss challenge. Like, yo, I'm trying to get noticed by Jadakiss, bro. I'm swinging. I'm going for real in this rap game. Yeah. But I don't feel the same. It's a tricky web because I want to watch the video fucking 100 times.
yeah, for sure.
So I'm just like going there and I'm like, okay, what do people say? And then it's like, oh, sick, little dopamine ripped up.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wait a minute, I haven't got one in fucking 2-3 hours. What the fuck? Whoa, Instagram, you holding out on me? I'm going to my notifications and scrolling down to refresh this shit. Hi, I knew you didn't tell me that someone liked this shit 2 minutes ago. Motherfucker, I'm on to you. But,
oh, man.
Yeah, it's a crazy fucking time. Or excuse me, I know I'm swearing a lot. It's a crazy thing.
Raw emotion, baby.
And dude, this is an adult podcast, bro.
This is an adult pod. It's bro, crazy.
We say the F word. We talk about penises.
True.
We have on occasion.
8 minutes without a dick drop.
Dick drop. I like that.
Yeah. I'm clocking 8.5 minutes here. It's getting a bit much.
Wow. But yeah, I remember my penis. No. Yeah, something social networking is pretty. Oh yeah, because back in the day, like Instagram, I was able to use it as a sweet ass tool. Like my Instagram was loaded with spiritual quotes and animal cruelty videos that just brainwash my veganity. Like, oh, I don't want to eat fucking beef after I watch Betsy get clapped 6 times in the fucking pineal gland with a sledge. I don't need to watch fucking this cow get hung up by their fucking ankle skinned alive and the next cow's looking like shit. Is that my fate? Like, I'm good on that meat actually after seeing that vid. But now I tried to get back in that same headspace and I thought, okay, well, I'm going to be on Instagram a lot. Might as well make my Powys HJ clean. Right. On my Powys HJ account, I follow hundreds of meditation, affirmation, intention, universe link accounts, and then I'm on there and I'm scrolling and I'm like, it's not the same. Because I'm sitting in my bed scrolling when the books that I should be reading that are the long form versions of the little blip ideas,
Right, sure.
I'm getting beaten to them by the little fucking dopamine crumbs I'm getting.
That's a good way to put it.
The continued,
you got the loaf of bread on the fucking counter.
yeah, exactly. I mean, the crumbs. And it's just like the way to get better in this life is fucking focus and attention and doing the same
And
thing.
routine and all that, right? Yeah.
And doing fucking 1 second of something is just not gonna make you fucking better at anything.
Right.
Except having a shorter attention span, and I don't know what fucking Olympics that's in. But
it might be in the future.
God.
The fucking influencer Olympics, like who can but
yeah.
I mean, the video that really stuck out to me that you were really all about in the first couple months of quarantine was the one where the guy talked about the dopamine diet.
Right.
I mean, do you want to talk about it? Because you were a little more well-versed in it than I was.
I mean, basically it was, yes, I do. Thank you. The answer to my constantly drooling over my phone in the morning, we may have even spoken about it on the pod, but repetition is important, guys. Was this video that I saw from like Everyday Better or Better Habits or Better Than Yesterday, maybe, the YouTube video is called, the account. And the title is, Why is playing video games easier than doing homework? And I was like, yeah, why the fuck is that? Click and watch this 16-minute video, and the guy basically says, once you hit your dopamine crack, you can't go back to reading. If you play video games or eat junk food or watch pornography, masturbate, do these things, you're going to have a hard time doing anything that's less stimulating than that in the long term, or in the, because it's your body's attuned to getting the short-term reward. Then you have to switch it to a long-term reward after that. You're going to have a hard time. So if you do the long-term reward stuff first, then you're going to have a way better time. Because I was reading one of my favorite books of all time, the Celestine Prophecy. I was loving it, flipping pages the day before, and now I'm in chapter 6. Like, why do I hate this book right now? I don't even want to read a fucking another page of this.
Right.
Because I'd watched Dortmund beat Bayern Munich at the freaking whatever, Bayern Kana, Mia Stadium, or whatever their freaking stadium's called. Allianz Arena. Yeah. And yeah, so that, cleaning up that little habit, and then it got to the point where I was like, okay, I'll just do it late in the day. And then I would do it late in the day, and then fucking, as soon as I get a rip, like I want to stay up all night doing it. It's so trippy, man. It almost like was the way to monkhood, was to just like totally, like there was a point there I thought I was going to be a monk, because I just thought like I would just rather read. Like people say, oh my God, I know this person that went 6 months without coffee, 6 months without sex, 6 months without this. They must have such crazy discipline. I'm like,
6 months without sex?
yes, bro.
Wouldn't know what that's like.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
No idea.
I don't want it. But for me, it was more like, you set up your life to be designed in a way that lower stimulation things still give you incredible satisfaction. Like, you can be satisfied from something that's not incredibly vibrant colors, he said in his fucking fruit by the foot tie-dye shirt. But you can be like satisfied by eating. Just eat and just focus on the food.
Yeah,
and
for
just
sure.
Don't scroll and don't watch TV and just look at the food and chew it and think about the taste. Like, that was some crazy shit that I was on when I was just eating, man. That was a trip. So yeah, that was the video I was on in short.
That's sweet. I've heard like a similar idea to that before. It's the swallowing the frog is the metaphor of it. Because like if you have to swallow a frog first thing in the morning, then nothing else the rest of the day is going to seem so bad. That's the worst thing you're going to do all day. Just do it, and everything else is going to seem a lot better in comparison to having to swallow the fucking frog.
Right.
Right.
Totally.
So like, yeah. I mean, I know the days that I feel the best are days when I get up at a reasonable time. I like go straight to the gym, and like on the way to the gym I go through like my laundry room in my building. So if I like put a load of laundry into the washer, go to the gym, come home, pick up the laundry out of there, go upstairs, hang that shit up, and then I'm like showered and breakfast by like, I don't know, 10:30. Like, dude, I feel like a fucking king, right? And then I can waste the rest of my day fucking, different about, who gives a shit.
Another trap.
But I already did some productive stuff, so
True.
Where you have like, you already have a win going into
exactly
the day.
right, yeah.
And it's like, one of the things the guy talked about in that video that was a big takeaway for me personally was that your brain starts to associate good feeling with doing the low dopamine activities eventually.
Right. Yeah.
If you're not giving it that spike so often and so consistently throughout the day, like for me, saving video games until the end of the day, using something that I might have viewed as a negative habit that I shouldn't do, and instead using it as like a reward.
Right.
Like, yo, if I do all my shit and I get all my shit in, I could play for a couple hours at the end of the day.
That makes great sense.
You know,
you gotta Caesar Milan that shit, dude. You gotta be the brain. You gotta be the brain whisperer. You know,
brain basically
hissing at your brain and shit.
Pretty much.
So true, and it's like it's crazy that it's the simple things, right?
Right.
I sigh because I think about the boxes I'm not ticking in my own life at the moment, in the work-life harmony tip. As my good friend Adam Rossi would put it. I mean, I have a very privileged job, and it's great, and I work inside. But, fuck, I miss working outside, bro. I go outside for sometimes, like, during the day, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is what it's about.
Yeah, working outside seems sick.
Like, would I rather do 12 hours in the fucking Stajo, which is great, and it's awesome to fucking serve people all day and all that. But when I pop outside, dude, the sun is singing, or it's pissing rain, and I'm in a fucking amazing rain gear with a huge golf umbrella, and I can hear the fucking rain pitter-pattering, and like every raindrop that doesn't hit me is like, Powys, that's how ready you are for this shit. Mm-hmm. Every puddle I step in with my fucking waterproof boots that I got for $10 at a set sale is like, this is how resourceful you are, bro. Fuck.
That shit's real, man.
I'm in one right now.
I was talking to Director Parr earlier today. I've been trying to sort out. I've been feeling a little bit unsettled in the last little while. Right. And the thing is, in the past, I would say to myself, work out. I've been working out almost every day for the last 2.5 months.
Nice.
You know, been like doing all the things that I should be doing. My eating's been getting dialed. All this stuff. I'm ticking all the boxes that I should be ticking. The one thing that I overlooked is being burnt out on this fucking pandemic.
True.
You know,
that's some real shit. Yeah.
I was like, oh, what could it be? And I was like, oh yeah, I was handling it really well for a long time, and I think I've hit a point where I'm fucking over it.
Yeah.
You know?
Right, dude.
And I know I'm preaching to the choir of everybody on planet Earth right now.
Dude.
But, you know.
But we didn't get bit until we got bit.
That's
and
the
I'm
thing.
not saying I'm fully bit.
Right.
I don't have the exact same headspace. But
Right.
I know when the shit hit the fan, we were both like, yo, this is kind of sick.
Yeah, because it was like a reset.
Right. At first it was like fucking, oh shit, summer vacation again. Right?
That's what it felt like, for sure.
I mean, I had to work the whole time, but you know, I enjoyed the I had my good roommate boy home all day at the time, so
right.
You know, we got to hang out on days that we normally wouldn't get to hang out. It was good stuff.
Fuck yeah.
I was actively looking for work the entire time. I was making sure to go to the job bank every day. I spent about an hour at the job bank every day. Not 2 hours on Reddit rapping every morning.
Dude, that's work, man. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
It's true.
Bro. Felt fucking the cost of it. But yeah, it's like the little things, you know, interaction with nature, fucking growth, exercise, eating clean, getting water, all the very basic holistic boxes. That's my formula. Mm-hmm. And like reading is a big part of my happiness, and applying the things in my reading, and fucking going to work and bragging to everyone about what I read and how it could change their life and how it did change mine and shit. That's my style. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, it's a great game out here. The design of your life is one of the greatest pieces of art you can put together.
Well, sure.
And I'm working on mine, man. I'm getting these brush strokes. Holy doodle, am I ever? Like,
holy doodle.
Bro, like the fact that I'm working at probably my favorite crew of people I've ever worked with, without a doubt, all due respect to everybody else, and like still have feelings of like, yo, man, I'm torched. I'm toast right now. Everyone cares. The top brass is like super caring, and I'm not even, you know, kissing ass. It's a fact. Like, ask around. Like, there's people coming in, check, how's your health, all this shit. Like, all good. Like, talk to me about anything that's wrong. Like, cool. But I could just get spiggity spent, man. Maybe I'm just hungover because I freaking got wasted watching Marble Olympics this weekend.
Bro, I mean, it could be part of it, but also, I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit that you're a fucking human being.
Right, dude.
I mean, Par and I talked about it. Is like we're social animals, and our social life is greatly hindered right now.
Yeah,
we don't have the freedom to do whatever we want at any given moment. Yeah, we can design our lives to be as good as possible within the given context that we're allowed.
Yeah,
but
what is the thing I lost most from the pandemic, you ask?
I do.
In a word, dancing.
I mean, shit.
In a word, going out, squeaking that fucking D floor until the lights come on. I don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah, we're shutting a few places down as soon as we get the fucking chance, man.
Oh, buddy. It's gonna be something else.
How about this? Like, last weekend, Powys and I went and hung out in Lynn Canyon, and we see this random pigeon float onto a rock, and he's just chirping in the middle of nothing around. I was like, yo, that's me and Powys getting into the club. No one's on the dance floor yet, and the music is barely started, and we're there trying to start the dance floor.
Dude, what was that pic you sent me? Jaar sent me a pic of something of the similar happening.
It was from a night at the Charles Bar where Par and Ryan did Rocky Mountain Barefuckers on someone's birthday.
This, yeah.
And I did them as well, and it did.
I know. We all did.
I think it was Byron's birthday.
It was Byron's birthday, yeah.
And Charles Bar.
Just Pow and Jaaron on the dance floor.
Powys wearing his Kunlun Zach Ewan jersey.
Oh yeah.
And fuck.
Guy in a Man City kit talking shit. What's your club's history again?
I mean, they're playing pretty well right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, they started in 2008.
But yeah, just fucking nights like that.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Miss shit like that. I mean, like, it's gonna come back one day. You just kind of got to make the best of what it is. It's just getting itchy, And, the last little while, I've been taking my boombox down to Robson Square. The rink got de-iced last week. Got the rink back for the next 10 months. That's pretty sick. And dope, been meeting up with a homie, and because it's outside,
Yeah, as long as you can distance, right?
Can stay 10 feet away or 6.
Yeah, it's doable. I didn't realize how much I missed social interaction because I got so comfortable with being alone for the first time. I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. Cool. I don't need to be with people ever again. That's kind of what it felt like. And then I'm like, yeah, you're not fucking invincible, bro. You need interaction, connection with people. Yeah, there's something to be said about being able to handle adversity on your own without needing to, I guess, fucking outsource your solutions. But there's a limit to what we can do, and being able to learn where your limits are and knowing when to fucking reach out and be like, yo, I don't have this shit as dialed as I thought.
Right.
I think that's super important, and just trying to sneak in those yo, I'm outside, maybe you chill at my gate and I'll chill at my porch.
Yeah.
Just shit like that, getting creative with it. Cause I mean, the outdoor stuff is great. Mm-hmm. It's a great way to start for sure. Just there was funny enough, Powys and his crew were filming literally across the street from where we were shuffling last week.
Nice.
And so got to pop over, say hello to Pow and his crew. And then there was this huge hip hop crew that were just masks on, distance. One person takes a turn getting into the circle, and just seeing them vibe and just seeing that energy just had me beaming. Yeah. Wasn't even a part of it, but just had me beaming, And then one of the dudes came over to join us and was like teaching us some hip hop stuff.
Wow.
And like I've wanted to learn hip hop dancing for a while.
Right.
You know, and this guy's teaching us some stuff. Was like, oh yeah, actually this is kind of similar to some stuff that's in shuffling.
Yeah.
This part of the shuffling style kind of what's the word? It like overlaps. And just meeting a new person and being like, holy shit, I forgot how much I like meeting new people and talking about
Insane.
shit. And, you know, I think I had gotten burnt out on social interaction
Yeah.
at a certain point.
That's totally
So-
fair.
But I'm at a point now where I'm like, shit, I miss it.
Right. The
And I know,
balance is off, dude.
I know I'm not the fucking, I'm very far from the only one who feels
Oh,
this
yeah,
way.
for sure.
But I just neglected the glaring possibility that a global pandemic and fucking all this stuff, as much as we have a lot of freedom in BC,
Yeah.
all things considered, it's still
Yeah, I mean, it's better than some places, man.
For sure.
Most.
So,
Even.
yeah.
I mean, Toronto, it's only fucking the food aisles of Walmart are open.
right.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it's straight up, like, stay inside, bro,
Yeah.
Right.
or else. And I remember one of my favorite weekends I had, I just went on 2 fucking huge walks with my headphones.
Nice.
And just, when I walk, I jam. When I run, I'm kind of just dancing at high speed. And it's so cathartic. It's so amazing. Like, yeah, I miss live shows and concerts and stuff, but like
Right.
when I have my headphones in, I'm at the fucking concert. Like,
Right.
Hell yeah.
when the music's on, I'm there. Like, it is what it is. And I love my homies at work. However, serving them all day and just having no social downtime is an absolute task.
Right.
Like,
Right.
and it's almost harder to bear when it's people I love, because it's like I don't even want to avoid talking to them. It's
Right.
like I'm motivated for 5 reasons to talk to them and to hear what's going on in their lives. Like, I care about them. They're my friends. I like them. Like, they're also my colleagues, and it's nice to be cordial. And I also have, you know, this is my 2nd year on the show. Like, I've known some of them for a long time, and I'm curious about how fucking their friends and their families are doing and stuff like this.
Sure.
But it's like, okay, bye.
Right.
Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Like, okay, 2 minutes. I get to myself. 5 minutes, maybe.
Right.
Like, legit. I know this might sound as like, oh, boo-hoo. I feel like boo-hoo. I feel like I'm fucking complaining. But at the end of the
It's
day...
real though, man. Like, your feelings are your feelings.
The tiredness is the tire, and it sucks because, like Ryan said a few episodes back about bad reviews, they're important to have to try to find something better,
Right.
and to establish criteria to move to something better. And for me, I think I need a little bit more solitude, because I'm serving some of my favorite people ever, and I'm still feeling at the brink sometimes.
Right.
I'm fucking exhausted. It's at the point now, lunch breaks used to be like, oh, let's go. I'm going to go kick it with you wherever you are. I'm in the sunshine with you. Let's go. Oh, you're fucking exhausted. You're about to get the POW show, dog. Take a seat. I'm about to tell you all this crazy shit. I'm about to do some dances and music. Now I'm like, headphones on. I'm going for a walk. See you when we're back in 5. See you when we're back in 1. Okay, cool. I'm going to go sit down and just close my eyes.
Right.
I'm going to go upstairs and lay on my back and put my mask over my fucking eyes. Right. And when that guy says we're back in 5 minutes, I'm going to open my eyes and I'm going to get my ass back to the truck and I'm going to hit resume.
Right.
And it's in a crew of incredible people. So I found my social limit. If anyone ever cared and thought, oh, you're one of those guys, you can just talk forever.
Right.
No, I cath off.
Oh man.
Fudge.
I mean, like, kind of an analogy I could relate for personally. I love music. Music is a big part of my life, but lately I've been listening to so much music or podcasts so stimulated all of the time that I wasn't enjoying music anymore.
Sure.
I took a couple days off, and then it was like I'd never heard these songs before. I was hearing them for the first time. Taking that little bit of a break from it gave me a newfound appreciation for it. The thing that I realized too, man, I went for my like first walk with no headphones in a really long time. Like, I think it might have been that day I saw you on set, but I didn't realize like how quickly I was walking. I was like, where am I in a rush to go? I have nothing to do today, but I'm fucking speeding to get somewhere.
Right.
I had just gotten so busy in my mind that I was just felt like I was in a rush to get somewhere and I didn't have anywhere to go. And the thing that I realized was that like having a busy mind like doesn't go well with being busy. Like,
Sure.
slowing down is important.
Yeah, too much noise.
Too much noise is no bueno.
Yeah.
And going for that walk, I slowed down. I started to feel better. I was like, oh, I'm not in a rush to go anywhere. Cool.
Sure, dude.
You know? And like, that's not to say that like life's not going to get busy again, because it is going to get busy again.
Yeah.
It's just like, try to use this as like data.
Oh,
where I'm
very
like,
much so.
you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, this is how this went. Like, my style now, I try my best, stick and move. Try some shit. Oh, this isn't working anymore. Pivot, readjust, try something else.
Right.
And just keep tweaking it until you find something that works on a more consistent basis.
Rye, how's your work-life harmony?
Right.
I mean, mine's kind of the same it's ever been. Like, there's really no disruption to my work at all. Really, I mean, you know, we're essential service and everything, right? So
Right.
we just kind of continued, same as always. But I mean, I'm pretty lucky in terms of my just like the actual divide of my work-life balance. Like, I work 4 on, 4 off, 10-hour shifts pattern, which is
sick.
brilliant. And I wish more people had access to work shifts like that, man. It's pretty excellent having 4 days off. Pretty much every week. I basically live in an 8-day week, and I work half of that week. So,
Right.
you know, it's pretty sweet, right? Like, oftentimes I have things to do on those days off, but plenty of my days off, I have nothing at all to do, and I just fucking, you know, totally decompress. Sometimes I just waste a whole fucking day, and it's not a big deal. You know,
Right.
like,
That'd be nice.
That's
right.
fucked.
So, like, I mean, I'm pretty lucky in that regard, right? I mean, it's not to say that, like, you know, obviously I work hard when I do have my days on, and I deal with some, you know, some rough stuff at work, you know, every now and again. But
Right.
but yeah, like, in terms of the actual split, it's pretty easy for me to completely detach. I'm pretty good at entirely leaving my work at work as well. Like, as soon as I'm out of there, I don't think about the place pretty much at all. I think it's like a defense mechanism in a lot of ways. Because back before, when I was doing the much more traumatic kind of stuff, right? Like, you have to, right? Like, if you think about that shit when you're not there, like, your fucking life's gonna revolve around it. It's terrible, right? So I've gotten pretty good at just like leaving that where it is, and so, you know, I don't get too stressed out about it outside of work, which is nice. Like, that's what I want to do. So, I mean, but like, that's a learned skill that I've been doing for a long time. Like, I've been doing this job a long time, right? So I've gotten good at it, and I was not always good at it, and that manifests in some pretty shitty ways at a couple points in my life. So, you know, like shutting off negative reactions from bad things I go through at work, emergencies and things like that, and then not realizing that I didn't open things back up at all, and then everything shut off for a long time, and then you can't figure out what the fuck is wrong and why you don't like anything and why nothing is fun, and I'm just like sitting here waiting for the sun to go down every day, and you know, and then you blow up your life, and then you rebuild, and then you get a bit of perspective, and you're like, oh, okay, no, I can't do this, you know, 100% of the time, right?
Right.
So it's like, it's just a journey in balancing these kinds of things. So yeah, good in that respect. And in terms of the timing, it works perfect.
Right.
That's darkness, bro.
Yeah, we're not gonna, you know, I'm talking.
I await for the sun to go down.
No, this is good.
We're not gonna go all the way. We're not gonna go all the way with it. But
That's
you know,
good.
we can dabble for a second.
Yeah.
Dang.
No shit, that's real, man.
I mean, you paid the price, and that makes
Right. I mean, like I learned a pretty tough lesson, right? Like I didn't think I bottled feelings up, and I really fucking did. I thought I didn't. I thought I was I'm like emotionally open, right? Like I feel, you know, all sorts of things all the time, and then you're like fucking spend 8 months of just like shit falling out of you all the time, right? Like you have no proper filter and just like no cap on anything at all, man. It's not great, but you know, learned lesson, better now.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
You get the experience, you learn from it.
Yeah.
Pivot, readjust, shit.
Yeah, and
that's what. Yeah,
try
that's
to just check in more often, right?
They don't teach us this shit in school, man.
Yeah.
That like failure and fucking up and all of this shit is so pivotal to our growth as humans.
Yeah.
That like it's just not taught.
I mean,
it's like you got to go into this thing and you have to be good at it, or it's not said explicitly maybe, but it's implied.
No, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
It's so important.
Experience. The thing is, like, even if you tell somebody, it's only going to go so far.
True.
I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I'm just saying that, like, whatever, some quote I saw in traditional medicinal tea bag, shout out, is like, one thorn of wisdom is worth a whole forest of warning, or something like that. Right. At the end of the day, it's true. Like, so many people say, oh, do well, do this. And you're like, yeah, sure. Like, oh, this is going to happen. Like, I don't know. Yeah. And then it happens to you and you're like, shit.
I mean, so much of that stuff is things you just kind of do have to figure out because you don't get it until you get it, right? Like, you know, somebody can explain stuff like that to you as much as you think, right? But yeah, exactly. Here you go. But you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink, right? That's exactly right. You know,
True.
Like you can think you understand these things, and you probably don't. You might have like an idea of it, but like I know I can say firsthand, like I say, I thought I was a totally emotionally like, you know, available and an open person, and I was just a complete fucking bank vault. So, you know, I didn't know, right? But then looking back, I was like, oh shit, yeah, maybe I was.
Yeah, I thought because I talked about stuff openly that made me an open person,
right?
But I wasn't really that open. I became very good at lying to myself. You know,
holy shit.
That's a skill you get good at without meaning to, man.
yeah. I didn't realize how good I was at it, and that's something I have to fight every day. Where I'm like, am I being fully honest with myself right now? I've had to design a system of checks and balances within myself to keep myself honest, because
the 3 branches of Jaaron's consciousness, man.
I mean, kind of like it.
Nuts.
Like that was the thing that like. I became a very good liar growing up out of like almost survival, you know? Not out of like, almost out of like rebellion almost, where it was like being honest didn't get me anywhere, but lying kind of helped me get away with things. And like if I didn't get caught, I just kept, you know?
That's the human condition, I think, man.
For sure. Well, like, I mean, I love
tough to get past.
I love my parents to death. I think they were just a little overprotective.
Okay.
They wanted to protect me. It came from a good place. I didn't feel like it was coming from a good place at the time.
Sure.
They misunderstood me, and I misunderstood them. You know? And now being older and being an adult, I understand them in a much better way than I used to.
Crazy.
But I think at the time I became a good liar. I learned how to become very sneaky. And then I became very good at lying to myself. I believe my own bullshit.
Holy fuck.
Sure, and, you know, it's not a good place to be when you're so good at lying to yourself that, like, you can't see the fucking truth that's right in front of your face. You know? I know it's a little out there, but that's just kind of where my head went. Now I just...
Dude, that's TriPod, baby.
Yeah,
I mean, dick jokes 1 minute, and the next minute we're getting to the fucking root of this shit.
Yeah, I mean,
why? But why do I make dick jokes?
Right? Holy fuck!
Where does this come from?
No! That's a can of worms.
Yeah, no, dude, no, we're not equipped.
All right, here's why. It's going down.
We're gonna have our second guest on the next pod, and it's gonna be our fucking group therapist.
Sure.
I mean, shit, we're kind of it's kind of like group therapy in a sense.
Everybody can leave your therapist recommendations in the comments.
Don't even tread.
My therapist is WebMD.
Nice. Nice.
It told me that I have cancer.
I didn't know you could have emotional cancer. Yeah.
Emotional cancer.
Shit, man.
Malignant motions.
Dude, the way that I actually described that like state of being in constant dishonesty with myself was being spiritually sick.
Right.
So it was like spiritual cancer. It was a cancer of my spirit.
Of the spirit.
And like the honesty is what set me free.
Huge, man. This is huge.
Like I know it sounds like the obvious thing, but being honest with yourself being honest with myself was the hardest thing. One of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. Like, you look at yourself in the mirror. David Goggins talks about the accountability mirror, where you look in the mirror and you can't lie to yourself in that fucking accountability mirror, you know? And that's kind of where I try to take that accountability mirror mentality with me in my life now, where I'm like trying to hold myself to a higher standard, you know, without being that person who self-criticized and put myself down so much that I couldn't get shit done.
Sure.
You know? And like putting myself in a position where, we're like self-defeating thinking.
Right.
Where it's like, yeah, be tough on yourself, but be gentle at the same time. Kind of like tough love. Like,
Yeah.
Sure. Like hold yourself accountable, right? But don't beat yourself up, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And so, I mean, that's kind of my like daily battle. And I think that's something that I kind of got away from for a little while.
Sure.
Where the dishonesty creeped back, not in the sense that I was like lying about, it was like lies by omission to myself, where I was purposefully not looking at certain things out of just like trying to protect my ego or something, but just like, like, oh, I'm just not going to look in that corner because I don't think I'm going to like what I see in there. You know?
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like running me from the fucking shadows, which is like kind of the theme of one of these books that I was read recently. And I know Powys dabbled in a little bit. Where...
Which book is that?
It's called Bring Your Shadow Out of the Dark.
Right.
By...
Welcome to TriHards.
TriHards. It's a book about, like, the shadow self. Carl Jung... talked about it.
Dude. Oh shit, dude. Fucking Yu-Gi-Oh is my favorite anime, man.
Carl Jung.
Carl
Sick
Jung,
as hell, man. Like, what kind of deck's that guy running?
Yeah, so I mean, the shadow self, basically talking about things that, like, I mean, Ryan touched on it a little bit, but like those feelings that you bottle up, it seems like it's not there because it's not in your conscious awareness. But it actually gets pushed somewhere into your subconscious and starts running you from the depths of your fucking being. And I don't think I realized that that's what I was realizing until I just said it out loud right now.
Sure.
But
we're making breakthroughs on TriPod, man. That's what we're doing here.
It's one of those things where, like, yeah, I read this book and I didn't think that I really fully internalized it, but maybe I did somewhere. I don't know.
Sure.
Well,
I mean, that's the dream, right?
Talking about it and pulling it out is like a bit of an exercise.
True.
And revisiting it, and like for me, like I talk a lot about the Four Agreements, and like reading the Four Agreements was awesome and really opened up my mind. But then what really made it change my life was talking about it every day to people and putting the agreements into practice and saying like, yo, it's super crazy when instead of saying, wow, I hate that I can't exercise at work, you say, I'm the type of person who exercises when I get the opportunity. Right now, I don't have the opportunity. I am going to, and when I get the opportunity, I'm going to take it. And then lockdown happened, and boys and girls, I took that shit. I took that breast ring, Muggle.
I don't know if anybody watching doesn't know this, but Pow's jacked, dude.
I'm a monster. I could drop this mic and run 18K right now, boys.
I mean, all the TriHards are just absolutely like god monster ripped, but I mean, Pow is the ringleader for sure.
You guys saw fitness as a lifestyle. You saw those absolute fucking gun jetties on Rye.
Just
oh my god!
It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
That's not Photoshop. You can't Photoshop movie. That's not CGI.
Can we thumbnail that? Can we thumbnail that?
That's not.
Yes.
Yes. Why did you type that?
What you think I'm spending hours in the gym over there to not be on the thumbnail? Come on.
Okay, on that fitness is a lifestyle shit.
Yeah.
On Friday, I think I might have had the best pump of my life.
Nice.
No way.
From resistance bands.
You're loving
No
it.
shit.
I'm
Hey?
loving it. It's this resistance band training program with the system that.
Do you have like the ones you put in the door or something?
Yeah, it's the ones in the
Nice.
door, and it top 10 simp comments on the pod. Par coming in with that spice in the chat. Yeah. I mean, putting it in the. Yeah, you put it in the door. It's like, right, the first few weeks is like a full body split. Then you'd go into like push pull. Then you go into more specific body parts. Anyway, the strength gains that you get from it, it's not the same kind that you get from like doing heavy barbell shit.
Sure.
I do miss a good deadlift, but I don't miss the stress on my low back and my knees. You know, I do miss a good squat. Those gains that you get for the booty, it's not happening as quickly with the bands, unfortunately.
I've never missed a squat in my life. I fucking hate them.
They're terrible, but now...
But goddamn, what a useful motion.
Oh, right now, the program has me doing step back lunges. Those are fucking awful.
Right.
But
Lunges in general.
they're rough. Like, a lot of quad stuff, but I mean, as is getting more into like the focus stuff, it's going to be a little more glute exercises, etc. But yeah, I never thought that like using a resistance band, it was basically you're just going until failure for 3 sets. And so it's like full pump. Like
Sick.
that feeling when you get out of the shower.
That's the equation, man.
Yeah, that feeling when you
Catch
get out
yourself
of the
in the
shower.
mirror, you double take a little bit. Oh,
dude.
who is this?
Dude, the same
Parker?
body. I'm like, whoa, who is this guy?
Yeah.
I was just, and then the thing is, that's where like this weird kind of duality was happening with me, where I'd go from having this sick fucking pump, felt great, to like, boom, the feeling just kind of plateaued, and then I kind of went back down into whatever's happening.
Sure.
Why did you go back down?
Because I think was just like a lot of different factors all kind of coming to a head at the same time, where it just kind of like all came together. It felt like the analogy I used was like I was doing all of the right things. I was just getting my head above water to take a breath and then getting pulled down by some shit.
Fuck.
You know? And in the past, I think I might have gone into some form of depression, where right now I never considered it, but I felt like I was functioning in just a high functioning form of like depression, or just like baseline agitation, or just like restlessness, where like I felt a draw to connect with people, but also didn't want to connect with people.
Weird.
Really weird. And just like it.
Put your diagnosis in the comments.
I mean, it's something where like, I think just having the mentality that I do now, I know that this is all part of the process, right? It's a nice reminder that like life isn't always going to be fucking sunshine and rainbows, but accepting that you're not always going to be riding high, but the lows aren't going to last forever either. Like it's going to turn around. The way it goes, it's just up and down. It's just learning to ride the wave and accept it for what it is, you know?
Fuck.
I mean, I've had a lot of good conversations today with a lot of different people, including this one, and I feel like I'm turning a corner. And I said the same thing last week. I felt like I was turning a corner, and then I got hit in the face with a shitty day.
You can turn a bunch of corners, man. You can fucking turn them, man.
Yeah, and so I mean, like,
This ain't no one-way street.
I definitely have a
I
lot.
lost the metaphor. Sorry.
It's I have a lot of belief in my ability to overcome. I have a lot of belief in my resilience that I didn't have before.
Yeah.
I think I've become a much more resilient individual in the last year and change.
Sure.
And And so I know that I'm going to get through this. I have an awesome support network of people. I just sometimes have a difficult time leaning on people. I'm kind of like, yeah, I got this shit.
Yeah. Fuck,
You know what I
man.
mean?
Yeah, I think that's definitely part of the male condition, man. Like we're fucking subconsciously trained to do that shit, right?
Right.
Like, and you know that's the stereotype, right? Is that we're fucking bad at sharing our feelings, and fucked if we aren't, man. Like, goddamn, like, like it's tough to do, man. It's tough to fucking do.
Yeah. And I mean, one of my goals in life is to normalize being a fucking human being as a dude. The whole spectrum of the human condition, the full spectrum of human emotion. I always denied the negative, quote unquote, emotions in me.
Nah, man. Dude, men feel two emotions, man. Hungry and horny, baby. That's all we got. That's the male spectrum.
Yeah. I mean, like, I just remember at a young age, like, I don't know, grade 5, grade 6, I'm like, fuck, I cry too much. I'm going to stop crying. And then within a couple of weeks, I fucking stopped crying, and I think I can count on 2 hands.
Right, dude, fuck, man.
Like, properly felt my fucking sadness.
Yeah,
you know?
dude. So like, I've been lately. Me and the girl have been watching some true crime stuff.
Okay.
And normally I'm not much of a true crime guy because I don't like the like turning people's pain into entertainment aspect.
Right.
But I mean, like, it's it's entertaining stuff. And like, so whenever there's been ones where there's like victims or people affected by it or whatever talking, and these people start crying, I'm basically done for. But I just keep stopping myself. And like I wasn't noticing that I was like sitting there biting my tongue, like not crying. And then I was like, well, no, I probably just should, right? Like it's probably better just to cry at stuff, right? And that's probably something pretty fair to cry about. Like this dude's like bawling his eyes out that his son got murdered, and I'm like, this shit ain't sad. This shit ain't fucking sad. But like, it is sad, dude.
I think that's definitely something that has been missing from my fucking recipe lately, is that I haven't been crying as much as I usually do, and as much.
Dude,
as
you feel better after a cry, man.
I am a
There's actually
crier.
you release fucking endorphins and shit.
Catharsis,
maybe not endorphins, but something happens.
I get
one of the hormones.
One of the hormones or chemicals in your brain.
I get a cheeky one watching The Last Airbender.
Right.
Huge. Last Airbender or Avatar The Last Airbender is an absolute fucking masterpiece.
I think I want to check it out.
I don't know if either of you are familiar, or Par. Have you seen it?
I started watching it. I gotta give it another go because it was
like
good. I was enjoying. I was liking it. I just fell out of watching it.
It's like the fucking Wire, bro. Like
this is what everyone says.
Really?
Oh,
I think the difficult part for me is just like the kid, like when they're kids in Japanese speaking anime, it's cool with me, but when it's English speaking kids, it's hard for me.
It's cool, dude. Don't worry.
Word.
And it's just like the meticulousness of how everything is so interconnected. I think is a product of it being 3 seasons,
right?
And how like Attack on Titan's dope. It's shit, man. There's a new fucking political party every fucking ep. At this point, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is happening? You guys just throw all these papers up in the air just to like tell me how they get sorted out next episode? Like,
shit's fucking wild in that show at the moment, man. Like,
man,
there's a lot going on. I'm fucking loving it. I'm loving it.
I haven't seen the most recent ep. So
okay, word.
I'm like 2 or 3 behind at this point.
Yeah.
I gotta catch up.
I have faith and I'm loving it, but for Avatar, like, yeah, whatever. But those Boku tears, I would get. Like, it was a mechanism at my old work, I'm sure I've spoken about on the pod before, where if I was in a place, I would just watch the final arc or the big moment of the season 1 arc, the ending of season 1, and just fucking bawl for a minute. And, like, actually, you know what? A few weeks ago, my boss walked into the truck and caught me bawling to fucking a Boku fight. Right. And she was like, honey, are you okay? Like, we're back from lunch. Like, I was just like... I'm ready. Boku no Hero. And I was just like, just like, fuck, man.
That reminds me of there was a time at Contact, the last music festival that I went to around Christmas 2019. My gimmick when I started shuffling, I named myself Dr. House as a play on Dr. House.
The Hugh Laurie classic.
House music, Dr. House, that was my thing.
Kinda.
And so somebody at Shambhala was dressed as a cop, writing tickets for people, but it was like really wholesome memes basically.
Sure.
And so I was like, that's a great idea. I dressed in a lab coat. Serena painted a house on it with a red cross in it. Nice. And so I was walking around with a prescription pad, writing out wholesome memes in the form of prescriptions. Right. And there,
hugs
I think,
and shit.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I was like, sick dance moves. Prescribe one hug and just hug a stranger, right? When you could do that and not get arrested. Like organize a little like shuffle meetup during one of the sets, and at the moment where I'm getting like hugged by two friends I hadn't seen in a while, and I'm seeing face after face after face of people I had like that I know, surrounded by all these people, and then I'm in the middle of writing this prescription or whatever, and the drop of like one of my go-to shuffle jams comes on, and I just fucking start leaking. Like, never cried like that in decades. No exaggeration. And Brandon and Natalie, they saw me, and they go to our friends Serena and Anthony. They're like, something's wrong with Jaaron. He's crying over there. Serena comes up, and she knows it's like, I'm not like upset. So she comes up with like this edge of her sleeve, and it's like dabbing under my eyes just to kind of fuck around. But I'm laughing about it, and they're like, "Is everything okay? Like you're crying, whatever." I'm like, "No, I'm just so happy."
Beautiful, man.
And then like, the song "You Little Beauty" by Fisher.
Purple Lamborghini, baby.
Purple Lamborghini. That's also a sick jam. It's one of my go-to gym songs right now. But yeah, having that moment, that moment I realized I was like, I have a lot of bottled up emotions that I haven't dealt with.
Totally.
It just came flowing out of me.
Sure.
I'd love to cry daily, man.
Guys, send us your best sad boy playlists so we can just have a group cry on TriPod.
You can have a triumphant cry. Like, you can watch, like...
Oh, dude, sports highlights.
Like,
sports highlights was one that Pow opened my eyes to, where I was, like, getting goosebumps. Dude, that one will get me.
Watch a penalty shootout and fucking cry.
The one that gets me right now is Liverpool's comeback against Barcelona a couple years ago.
Oh, my God.
Anfield... It was exploded. I don't think I've ever...
Quarter ticket quickly!
Sick. Because my mom's been roped into the Liverpool fandom by the Minhas boys. My father, my dad, my bro, and I.
It's potent.
And so she's into the team around the time. She's there for the first Champions League loss against Real Madrid.
Right.
And then she's there for that. And just sharing that moment, it was fucking awesome.
Nice,
just
man.
like...
Perfect.
That's great.
Just
Did you cry in front of mom and dad at that point?
not in that moment, but I watched the highlights,
Crazy.
And honestly, that game felt more like the final than the actual final. Because when they went into the final, I'm like, they're gonna win, because they're playing Tottenham. Sorry, Tottenham fans, but yeah, they just weren't. They just weren't up for it that day,
Man,
And,
I mean, yeah, that's nice, man. That's fair. That's cool.
It's funny because I remember, I think maybe it was the last pod we published, I was talking about how I was bawling my eyes out at that freaking piece of paper that my soccer team gave me.
right.
And it's not enough tears, bro. I mean, that day was cool. And like, I'm a fucking crier, man. It's built into my thing. Like,
Fuck, dude. That makes perfect sense, man. That's how humans function.
I'm gonna have a nice cry.
Or supposed to.
In a week when we say bye-bye to the wave.
Ooh.
Dude.
For a little while.
That's gonna be a sad day.
Yeah.
That's gonna be fudged.
A lot of sad times coming up right now, man. Like, I mean, kind of sad that pod is ending.
It is, isn't it?
That's a good point.
I mean, this has been a good pod, guys. No, but in summary, you guys are pussies, man. I was faking all that. Emotional shit. You guys are gonna look so fucking dumb.
Yeah, Jerry, you're an idiot. I was
so
faking.
dumb,
Cry?
dude. Oh my god. Fucking, I'm so sad. Fucking pussies, man. So I got like everybody. Everybody is in the room off camera right now, and they're fucking laughing, dude. They are laughing.
I'll
Yeah,
take-
anyway, fucking peace, dude.
I'll take
Later,
the
boys.
ridicule. I'll take the ridicule all day,
Hour
baby.
long ago.
Our wholesome memes. Get at me. Share this pod, you know?